Well, experience really, because when I actually got her home, of course I'd only seen her in the hospital where she was always fast asleep. And I was waiting for her to do something. I put her in a carry cot over there, and I sort of hovered around it all morning like a vulture waiting for something to happen.
This is the first of 4 films about bringing up babies, about what it's like being a parent and the things you have to do.
Paddington was the name of the...
We'll be looking at things like feeding, and we'll see why breastfeeding is such a good thing. We'll look at the way in which babies grow and develop. Sarah is 7 months, Finlow's 16 months, Jenny's 21 months, and Robbie is nearly 7. We'll find out what happens at baby clinics, how immunisation works, for instance, and why it's important to protect children against certain illnesses.
First injection?
Yeah.
Is there any epilepsy in the family?
No. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
But you can't prevent all illnesses, and children sometimes have to go into hospital. We'll look at how a good children... A bowl of hot water did this. We'll look at how home accidents can be prevented, and injuries on the road as well. We'll take a look at children learning to mix with other children. See one of the most rewarding parts of life.
Let's have some more then.
Hello,
Ooh, there.
Mr. Bull.
We'll start at the beginning.
Away in no fit state to cope at that particular stage, and I
I'd
think
been...
it was rather hard, wasn't it?
It was.
at
I'd been in
first?
hospital for, well, almost 5 weeks. Suddenly, I came home here to start, you know, with everything, and it really came as a very big shock.
Here's Louise, now 6 weeks old, and her mother.
Well, I just never seemed to be organised for the first week or so at all. It was, well, organised chaos, I think, really.
This is Jenny, whom you saw being born in one of the earlier programmes. She's now 1 year, 9 months. Her brother Robbie is nearly 7. You met their father, Mike, and Christine, their mother, in that earlier film. How did Christine find things when she had Robbie, her first baby?
Very frightening, it was. I'd read a lot of books before he was born, and I was so determined to go by the book and never do anything wrong, and it became more of a chore than a pleasure. It was only as he grew older and I relaxed a bit.
One of the first worries is feeding the new baby. You can breastfeed or bottle feed. Here's Jonathan, one of the Graham twins, 7 months old. He's being breastfed.
Mr. and Mrs. Brown first met Paddington on a railway platform. Good afternoon.
We asked a paediatrician, an expert in child health, what were the advantages of breastfeeding.
Ask the bear.
There is no doubt that breast milk was devised for a baby, and when children are breastfed, they have the advantage of having a food which is suited to them. They have the advantage of gaining immunity to certain diseases. They have an advantage in being less prone to gastrointestinal infection and to other infections. And apart from all these, there is the great advantage that they have the constant attention and contact with their mother.
Mr. Brown.
This makes for what's called bonding between mother and child. It's tremendously important that a baby should recognize and feel its mother's love and care right from the start of its life. The twins' older brother Mark was breastfed, and so were the twins.
Shall I help you, Mum?
I wanted to feed these as well, and everybody says it's better for them, it's more convenient, certainly in the night, when you haven't got to warm up bottles and sterilise what would be 12 bottles a day or something and wash them out, so it's easier from that point of view anyway.
had to breastfeed, and then when I couldn't, it was a real bitter disappointment that I couldn't. And the only, now, after feeding Jenny, the only reason I didn't breastfeed Robbie was because I just wasn't confident, and I wouldn't let it happen. It is a natural thing, and it just does happen. But then you get, I think that's why it was a vicious circle with Robbie, with not breastfeeding. I felt guilty, which you shouldn't do really. I mean, you should just accept things as they are. But I breastfed Jenny, and the returns I got from that were absolutely, well, I was high. I was literally high all the time. For 6 months, that she just had breast milk, nothing else. And but it was everything. It was really the very, very fulfilling part of having the baby.
But some people bottle feed their babies and get on very well. What does the paediatrician say about this?
There are very adequate artificial milks which will provide a perfectly good feed for the child. And it's no great crime for a mother to have to bottle feed her baby. The baby will thrive, it'll do very well indeed, but it will not have all the advantages which we know apply to breastfeeding.
If you do bottle feed, everything must be kept absolutely clean to avoid the dangers of infection. You use boiled water. And you make up the feed exactly according to the directions. If it's too concentrated, it can harm the baby. Everything must be kept sterilized, including, of course, the teat. And maybe there is one advantage. The father can take a hand in feeding his baby.
Get it out. Get up there. That was nice, wasn't it? Hmm?
There's plenty of expert help available on feeding and with other problems.
Nice balls, but
The health visitor calls.
Well, she's having 6. She's still waking up for the 2 o'clock feed.
So I know it's a nuisance being woken up in the night, but try not to feel as though it's a bit of a burden to you.
Yeah.
Because she will get over it. It is normal.
Yeah.
She's not being naughty waking up in the night.
And it's very important to use the local clinic. Her mother brings Louise along for her 6 weeks assessment to make sure all's well. Babies come in different sizes, some weigh more than others. Provided a baby doesn't come below a certain weight, or for that matter weigh too much, that's perfectly normal. The same goes for the baby's length. It's the proportion, the size of the head in comparison with the body length, that's got to come within a certain range. If it doesn't, that shows something's wrong, which has got to be dealt with.
Come on, that's a good girl. Oh, she's a good girl, aren't you? That's it. Come on.
The doctor examines Louise. Does she notice when she's carried over to the window where it's brighter? Yes. Her eyes are checked, especially her eye movements. At 6 weeks, she's nearly able to hold up her head when she's lifted like this.
Oh.
She still shows the grasping reflex. It'll disappear when she's a little older. Also at this age, her feet curl when you do this, a good test of part of her nervous system. The doctor makes sure there's nothing wrong with her hip joints. Any trouble can usually be put right quite easily at this age.
All right, all right.
She shouldn't flop too much when she's held like this. This is the stepping reflex. She automatically lifts her leg to climb onto the mattress, and she makes walking movements when she's supported over the mattress. Let's watch that again. See how she steps up? a simple hearing test. She reacts. When she's a few months older, she'll have a thorough hearing test, very important, as we'll see. The fontanelle is the soft part of the skull where bones haven't grown together yet. It shouldn't be swollen or hollow. She checks her spine. Listening to the baby's heart. Once again, it's important to find out now if there's anything wrong. This can often prevent serious problems later on.
I have to sort of try and judge whether it's wind or it's loud. I think
You see, Miss Willett has done her height and weight, and this all falls within normal range, so she is doing quite all right.
very good. Yeah.
And she's doing all the things she should be doing at 6 weeks.
Good. Good girl.
Of course, you've got to feed your baby properly and make use of the health services when you need to. But babies need far more than just this. They need their parents' love and attention to give them happiness and security. Even a very young baby soon learns to recognize his mother and respond to her. Watch Christopher at 7 weeks.
You're going to give me a smile? Come on. Let's have a nice smile. Give me a little smile. Come on. You're getting tired now. Come on. That's nice. That's a nice one. Come on. That's right. Come on. You like to use voices. Come on. Smile. Where's Mummy's?
Babies need to be talked to be played with. It's all part of that bonding we talked about earlier.
This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had lunch. And this little piggy cried. Really ran all the way home. Easy.
Jonathan Graham's only 7 months, but his mother's already showing him books and spending a great deal of her time chatting to him and making him feel happy and wanted. What do the twins' parents think about them?
Right from the moment they were born, they were different. Sarah was always very alert and looking around and waving her hands and didn't mind about being fed either. Jonathan, if he was awake, was hungry and had to be fed straight away. And they're just the same now. Sarah's got to be on the go all the time and was earlier crawling and things like that.
Being twins, they are two individuals who are growing up at the same time. They're both demanding our attention, almost our complete attention.
Demanding attention. That's what having babies involves. And if they can start off like the twins and their older brother with the warmth and security that comes from breastfeeding, all the better for them.
I told you so. Mrs. Brown could just see a small furry object. A bear on Paddington Station? Don't be silly. There can't be, said Mrs. Brown. But there is, said Mr. Brown. Over there behind those mailbags. It was wearing a funny kind of a hat.
You shouldn't have a baby until you want one. Louise's parents waited for a year or two before they decided to have her.
We weren't financially stable at first, when we first got married. And as Jeff's been promoted and he's got a better job and things, and I was working full-time, I was teaching full-time. And we decided that the time was right. No.
Christopher's parents waited longer. Listen to what they have to say.
By having waited a number of years, because I've built up a business now, which is fairly secure, and I think if we'd had a baby early on in our marriage, it could have caused a lot of problems. We've done all the things that we wanted to do. We've built up a home and so on. Yes. We've got all the things that we require, really.
No, you don't break them.
Christine and Mike had Jenny when Robbie was just turned 5. Once again, a wanted baby.
I was just enjoying having a little boy, and then he got to that age where we could go shopping and I could take him to eat out. And as he was, approaching school age, and then, I didn't panic at that time or anything, but I just thought I'd like something else, and it'll probably be the same with Jenny, to to watch her evolve and watch her grow up as an individual, really. That's why the age gap really suited, isn't it?
We asked our parents what really hit them about having a baby. The tough things and the good things.
I think the responsibility is probably the biggest thing that hits you.
I think you've felt my attention's gone from you a lot.
Slightly, I think,
you
yes.
really?
I think this is inevitable, that occasionally you want to discuss something or have a conversation and it's simply taken over by the child. You've just got to accept this, of course, that...
He won't wait.
That could be a little bit tiresome, especially in the middle of the night. But she's always doing new things as she gets bigger and older, like opening her eyes and smiling now, whether she's smiling at you or whether it's wind. I like to think she's smiling at me.
They are little human beings. They're not objects. They've got personalities of their own.
And I always thought other people's were all right. You know, as long as you could hand them back when you'd had a nurse. You could sit and cuddle them and then say, go back to your mum now. But it's very different when it's your own flesh and blood. It's very different. It's nice.
I don't know if it's a typical male attitude or not. You tolerate other people's children as long as they're not under your feet. As Barbara said, it's quite different when it's your own. You know, you have created this little entity and it's part of you. And it's a marvellous little piece of human. This.
Yeah.
I think she's going to cry for us.
There's that many rewards, you know, from them. There's little things. When you've made them something nice to eat, or like little dresses, made things for them to wear, there's that many returns. They're very, very simple returns, but I think it's all part of life and, well, being a mother, it's everything really. And you do feel, you know, mumsy and homey, but that's it. That is, to me, that is it. And as I say, for 10 years, Jenny, for a few years, it's not a long time to give them. It's the foundation for their life. Yeah. And at the moment, I could strangle Jenny. Yeah.
This isn't though, is it, Mum? That isn't in there.